Hey guys, welcome to the wide set and to our set of AnnieWood. This is a very exciting episode, Todd. Are you very excited about this?
Ooh, I love Dr. Drew Pinsky.
Dr. Drew, not to be confused with Dr. Phil, which I did say several times accidentally. But what are you going to do? It's funnier to liken him to a bald guy. Oh, our future's so bright on this podcast. We want to thank you guys for being here at the beginning because the future is bright. We have so many good guests coming up. This episode is absolutely amazing. I'm so excited.
We learned so much about ourselves.
We learned about ourselves. We learned about vaping. We learned about interventions. We learned about foot fetishes. We learned about
just a lot.
A lot of things. Dr. Drew is the man. We love him. Very excited that he was here and very excited for him to come back sometime. But enjoy it. Check it out. We're also on the road as usual with the Welcome to AnnieWood tour. This will be our second week. You can catch me in Dania Beach. I believe it's called Dania Beach. February 3rd and 4th.
I don't have my phone anymore. I don't know what happened to it.
Okay. February 3rd and 4th at Dania Beach, Florida at the Improv. We'll be in Washington, D.C. at the Comedy Loft. I love that club. February 24th and 25th. And I love performing for you college nerds. You smart, cute, well-dressed people. Seattle, Washington, we're bringing Mike Evans with us. It's going to be so fun. Seattle, I haven't been to in so long, but I like that you guys weather your depression. You get through it. You cry through the tears of the rain and you come laugh with us. Can't wait to see you. And the Cobain and the rain and the blank effer.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's a callback. Are you a Woody? How are my Woodies, my Stannies, my Insannies, my Orphannies, my pocket
what are you starting
posse?
From the top?
No, I just forgot to do it. So okay, wait. And all the other ones.
She's got ADHD.
I'm gonna be in Tampa, Florida at Side Splitters March 17th and 18th. My entire family's everyone's coming. All my friends from ayahuasca are gonna be there. It's gonna be the best. So come to that.
Hold on. Open your mouth.
Why?
Just open it.
He missed my mouth. He always misses my mouth. It's now in my cheek. I have a very minty cheek. Thank you, Todd. Why don't you worry about your own breath?
I do.
You got not enough.
Can we get sponsored by this? Listerine spray?
Don't have a lisp while you say spray. He was holding it in the spray and having a little, he has a teensy little lisp. We'll be in Toronto. We're getting him his passport so he can come to the Comedy Bar in Danforth. The tickets are up, guys. Sorry that took a while. That's April 21st and 22nd. So you'll be recovering from the munchies. You'll probably still smell like Funyuns when we see you. Can't wait. And then be in Salt Lake City, Utah at Wise Guys Comedy Club. That was the first club I sold out when we first came back from the pandemic. And it's an honor to perform for such beautiful people. I can tell in Utah that God loves you back because you're very pretty. So that's June 9th and 10th. And then there's a bunch of other dates being added to the Welcome to AnnieWood tour. So hop on the roller coaster, baby. We'll see you there.
Welcome to AnnieWood.
Hey guys, welcome to AnnieWood. We have one of my favorite people, Dr. Drew, who I'm sure, do people say Dr. Phil accidentally a lot?
They do. I get Anderson Cooper, I get Phil, I get Anderson Cooper.
The silver foxes of the world.
Anderson Cooper and I actually did a little like IG video on that where he told me to fuck off because it pisses him off so much when people call him me.
Yeah, you're like, you then.
Yeah, so.
And then, I accidentally called you Dr. Dre on a live. I mean, Dr.
Dre?
Phil. No, Dr. Dre.
Too,
oh, that's so funny. You look alike.
Or people, I look just like him. And people drop the W sometimes accidentally, and then I enter into his world on Twitter. So
you should be him for Halloween. I dare you. I dare you. Todd, let's set it up. But I'm so excited to have you. And I wanted to surprise you with what my weekend was.
Well, you kind of hinted, you tilted towards me, to me that something was happening.
Yes.
And wait till I hear about it. And in particular, today was relevant to that.
Today was very relevant.
Okay, so I was like, wow, now I'm ready. I really want to hear about this.
So on Thursday, I flew to an undisclosed location and
I did. We're going to not talk about what the fuck you did. Why are we talking about it?
And we did. Well, just because, and I did an ayahuasca retreat. And then you're like, oh boy, I gotta hear ayahuasca stories. I always say you have to have consent before you tell people what you saw in ayahuasca because it's too much. But I did ayahuasca in San Pedro for 2 days, and then I flew back.
In San Pedro?
No, I did. I don't want to say where because.
And then you went to San Pedro.
No. San Pedro's a cactus. That's like a heart-opening drug. That's
another
awesome.
New one. Oh, yes. I didn't know about that one.
They're very old. They're very ancient.
Oh, I'm sure.
We're new.
Well, but that sort of changes, I think, where I suspect you went. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
So
no, I'll just tell you, and we'll bleep it out. It's really actually very funny. I did it in.
But I know. Let me say this, and this don't bleep out. There's a whole world doing this.
Yes.
And I'm familiar with that world. I've talked to that world.
Never done it?
No, it's scary. I'm afraid of doing that stuff for a couple reasons. One is I'm an incredible lightweight. Mm-hmm. If I try to smoke weed, I get these toxic reactions.
Yeah, weed's bad for me, I think.
And I've seen, having worked in a psychiatric hospital for 35 years, I've seen Freudian injuries, neurological injuries from hallucinogens of all type.
Look, guys, don't listen to this square. Right? You go out there and live your fucking truth.
Having said that, I'm Dr. Doblin at the MAPS, and I'm very supportive of what MAPS is doing. And I believe that particularly psilocybin is going to have benefit. And I believe that LSD for end of life for sure do that. There's lots of great application coming. So I have no bias against it.
But
I just
you're like,
recreationally, maybe not for opening me or recreationally or anything like that. It scares me a little bit. It's got to be, a risk benefit. Didn't feel recreational.
No, it feels like, I always think it feels like 30 years of therapy. Like it's like,
that's what everybody says.
Because that's like woman comes, it's so weird. There's like a lady that comes to you.
Well, sometimes. I mean, there's different things that
I had to, but it's always like kind of ruled by this like female energy. I've done it, from every time I've done it. I've done it. This was like my, I think 8th and 9th time.
Wow.
But it was so fun.
How do you know when you're done?
Doing it in my life. I think like when I get like an email that's like, we have some retreats coming up. If I go like, don't want to do that.
So how about when that female energy sends you an email and says, you're done now. You've had enough. She
would maybe, that could happen where she like comes to me and goes, you're done, bitch. But and one of my trips this time I had to go, I forgot she was there and I had to be like, oh my God, come like hang out with me. And then she started flirting with me. She looked like a cat and she was like flirting with me and coming around. She was like, maybe a little bit.
Doing it multiple times just makes me nervous. That's all. I mean, because these are serious.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't worry.
I like when you're worried about me.
I don't want you to hurt your brain. You know what I mean? I worry about this stuff. And so far, everything kind of looks good in controlled circumstances. And certainly this stuff has therapeutic value. I just don't understand the risk yet.
Yeah.
And that's why I worry.
Yeah. Well, I'll be your
You'll be the guinea pig. So
the guinea pig, which is what they called me in college.
But for you, you're good, right? It's been only positive.
It's been absolutely incredible every time I've done it. Yeah. And then I wanted to stop doing it. There you go.
Someday.
I wanted to stop doing it last time. And I had like a weird trip because I was like, oh, I didn't feel like I wanted to be there. So I only do it when I really want to.
Well, you gotta tell him.
What?
She has competing shamans.
I do have. I have multiple shamans. I leaned into LA.
And
I fought it for like 2 years. I was like, LA fucking sucks. I can move to New York, and I'm like, New York, you guys don't have shamans. What are you doing over there?
and are they like competing in the sense that they're like, only I know the truth?
Yes.
And this guy's a sham. This guy's full of shit.
I have a breathwork shaman, an ayahuasca shaman, and
I can imagine the breathwork guy's like, you really should just be doing the breathwork. It should be more than sufficient.
She has an ayahuasca breathwork and a scam shaman, basically.
And then I have one. I have a charlatan.
Everyone needs one, just the difference.
Todd's like, why do you keep doing these at malls? I go to like a mall doctor, but I like the mall doctor.
To do the ayahuasca?
No. I know I'm laying stuff on you, but
okay.
I want to hear before we get into everything else. You have like a thing. You're very like, you're like a magnet.
Okay.
Do you feel this? Are people like always seeking your approval and wanting to be around you?
I'm not aware of that. They want to be around. Sure? They want to be around, but I'm not aware that the approval is the thing.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's not approval. I feel your approval.
You get my approval.
Yeah, I feel it. But yeah, no, when you left Trash Tuesday, when you did Trash Tuesday, we were like, we needed more. Like you had to leave us. Like we would have done like a 20-hour episode. We were like,
I wouldn't have.
I was on the edge. No, I know. We were like throwing our trauma at you. I was like,
It was fun.
Edge on the seat, like Kalila would be done. I almost like cover her mouth, like my turn.
Yeah, and
I was molested too.
And there was stuff, right? There was some stuff going on.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's always stuff.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things I got on this my weekend. Was I kind of got this image of, because I had told you about the stuff that happened to me in high school. I'll refresh your memory if you don't remember.
Please.
But I got sexually assaulted by my teacher. I went to kind of like a fuck school.
Yes. Hippie school.
Diddly, yes. School. You call the teachers by their first name so they can pillows instead of chairs, so it's easier to bang you on.
Ugh, terrible.
But I always thought it was just my one teacher, right? But the minute I always had this feeling like,
no, you mentioned this. That other people.
Whenever I've had like these adult figures that have crossed the boundary and been like predators, I always get them fired. I took my teacher to court and stuff. And I always think like, wrong girl. Like, what the hell? Why would you pick me? Because I will like stop the cycle.
But
as much as I can.
Aren't thinking it all the way through. They only want to be able to do their thing.
Yeah. And then they're not thinking about the consequences yet.
No, but that's awful.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know, but I just felt like, so I was in this whole thing, I was thinking, I have like this guilt about when you come out against these people, nobody like really has your back. It's very weird.
Yeah, because all the people that are on their side can't imagine that it's real.
Right.
And so they come
because they don't want it to be real.
Well, they of course, this person hides it very, very deeply, and and for sure he has people that love him in his life, and they're going to run to his defense.
But even like my parents, even though they did support me, it was like they just don't want to talk about it.
Well,
so I think it's just so uncomfortable for people that they want to imagine that like the water. This was the image I got, that like the ocean is still.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then they're like the ocean's still, but I'm like I'm at sea level. I'm at like in the bottom of the sea, like in a fucking war. And so then when I bring it up, it's like there's waves, and then they're blaming me for the waves. I'm like, don't blame me for the waves.
How old were you at the time?
I was 16 in high school.
You can't imagine how much a parent's well-being is affected by something unhappy going on with their kids. We just don't want it.
Yeah.
We want to push it away.
Yeah. Which I understand. No, I have like a lot of grace for my parents and understand, but I just thought that I've been carrying like this shame of like feeling like I did something bad by coming out and like upsetting things.
Terrible.
So that was really good to release.
That's what you did this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Why'd you wait so long?
To do it? Well, I think it's like, I didn't realize it was so like repressed. And in breath work, that comes out for me too. Breath work is like fucking amazing. Have you done any?
Not really.
It's really cool. Yeah. It's like weird how deep you can get, and you start like you're in weird places.
Yeah.
I told him I banged Zeus in my. I banged Zeus, the god.
Are you jealous?
He was upset.
I was kind of grossed out, honestly.
Well, he
does bang everyone else. He probably gave me herpes.
And something's going to pop out of your head. Because that's how he creates his children, isn't it? Something emerges from the forehead. But
I do have like a bump here.
And to be fair, if she's going to cheat with somebody, why not Zeus? Yeah. Can you think of anybody better?
He bangs everyone. He's irresistible. But you're like at a little Apollo.
Nice.
I've been called an Adonis from time to time.
Or an Adonis, yes. Who told you Adonis?
Apollo is like the messenger, isn't he?
No. Mercury. That's so Apollo is the ultimate male figure.
Yeah. My man over there.
He's the linear figure.
I could be an Apollo too then.
Yeah.
So Todd, with this podcast, what happens is we do the podcast and then Todd goes through and edits like funny things in it, almost like pop-up video type things.
I see your stuff.
And thank you. Uh-huh. I love when you come on my lives. I like want to scream. Like Dr. Drew's on my live. But anyway, so with all of this like history of kind of like coming out against people, which it's kind of like, it does feel like kind of what I'm here to do. And I'm not.
Well, it's such an odd thing for women to feel bad about.
Yeah.
I know it's something about your wiring. And people want to blame it on society, but it's too universal of women's feeling that they first, we talked about this last time, they first scroll in their head, how did I do this? What did I contribute to do this? Magically, that you had anything to do with a fucking asshole predator coming down on a child.
Yeah.
But you still take the responsibility.
Well, you're also like a kid when it happens. So your brain is
even
like
as
not
an adult,
able to even
even as an adult, you do the same thing.
Yeah.
And so, and then to not feel self-righteous about stepping forward as opposed to feeling guilty and shame of it. I understand people get hurt and stuff. And that's kind of a conflicted thing. But shame?
Yeah.
Shame is that it happened.
Yeah.
That's sort of where the shame resides. and it had nothing to do with you. And in a weird way, that's a feeling that we don't like to have because it means we're powerless over certain things, and humans don't like powerlessness.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I think that when I first, because I realized like, you know, I started doing like a lot of work on it like probably about 8 years ago. And that's when I started to realize like, oh, this was like not my fault. And I didn't realize I had been internalizing all of it. But I realized the reason I was because it was so much easier to like take it. And I felt more control if it was like my fault.
You're not powerless.
And then,
exactly. You see how much you push away powerlessness?
But then it's like, I would have to admit that every grown up in my life failed me. I mean, literally every single one. Even his lawyer was like my softball coach. It was so weird. It was such an incest thing. But
where was this again?
This was in Philadelphia.
Right.
And that school, the more famous I get, goddamn, they must be just fucking clenching their assholes because they know what's about to come, bitch. I ain't scared no more. But I realized, like, really, like, to step into the, like...
That's going on a reel.
The
I see Todd making a note right now, writing the numbers down.
No, we're trying to get Chris Hansen to do something with us.
Oh, so good.
We have been really reaching out. Like, he just hasn't seen it yet, but we're going to get him.
Yeah.
We collect people.
Yeah.
We find our people. Yeah. But, I just have found so many new pieces of that story that are so wild, and it's just.
Well, I'm guessing other people got abused too, and
it's for generations.
Yeah,
so it's like, why are you still there, baby? Why is the school still going?
There was a weird. This was when? Was that what years were those?
That was in like 1998, 1999.
So some of that, I'm sure, was the residual of the 70s.
Yes,
when that was cool.
Yeah,
and the girls were sort of in like weirdly. I don't want to say encouraged, but it was just sort of like, well. God, I remember people that were even professionals later bragging about having sex with their teachers, and I think I'd be like, "That is fucking a mess.
You're crazy.
What are you talking about?"
Yeah, no. In the 70s, the school was a Montessori school, and I talked about it on Marin's podcast years ago, and then this woman was like, "Oh, we've been doing like Me Too about that school because the teachers were like molesting us back in the 70s too." I'm like, damn. But so
that's where all this got going.
Yeah.
All the weird, really what was a pandemic, or not a pandemic, an epidemic of childhood sexual abuse.
Yeah.
The 70s brought that upon us.
Yeah, it was a pandemic.
Yeah. It was because if you were around then, it was just, hey, kids are just little adults. And they're very sexual beings. Yeah. And they need to express themselves.
Oh my God, it's so gross.
And then the pedophiles were just people that, they had different ways of doing things. And they were just, it was all disgusting,
kids
horrible,
now,
beyond ideology that destroyed tons of people.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to like unfold because my mom was always like wanting me to hang out with the teacher, like totally. I had a room at this guy's house. Like it was totally, but my parents got groomed by them too. And I think that's something that's hard for them.
Yes.
They were really convinced by these people.
Was your mom sexually abused or anything? Also?
No, she wasn't. But I found out I always get these pieces and it's like so validating and cool to like figure out where people's intentions were and what made them make those decisions. Because my mom a couple years ago was like, she went to an all girls boarding school. My mom always felt really uncool. She was adopted. Like she never felt like she fit in. And so there was a group of cool girls that would go sleep over at a teacher's house. Cause she would always go, Annie, that's just what happened. Kids slept over their teacher's house. I'm like, Mom, that's so crazy.
Yes. That's for the record. That's crazy.
So crazy. Yeah. But so she found out that like there had been this like new resurgence of all of those girls coming out and being like, we were molested by this teacher. And my mom's like, oh, I never knew that. I just thought like it was a cool party I wasn't invited to. So then when I was invited, she was like, okay, my daughter can live out like the cool girl fantasy that I couldn't live out.
No, something happened to your mom.
Really?
For sure.
You think?
For sure.
I think something happened to my dad.
Something with your mom too.
Really?
that she could, knowing that was a situation.
But she didn't know that until like 2 years ago. She found out they were getting molested.
I see. Well, still something might happen to your mom because it's uncanny how people reproduce the traumas of their past. It's uncanny.
I think my mom.
It might have been just some touching, and it might have been by one of the girls too, because they were all screwed up by their boundaries and stuff by that teacher.
Mom, we're gonna get to the bottom of your molestation.
And that's also when the parents, particularly the moms, have been sexually abused, and then it happens to their daughters.
Yeah,
that's the one they just don't want to hear it.
I've had my friends having that problem right now.
They cannot deal.
We're going to transition our kids if they're girls right into boys right away. I'm sorry, guys.
That's a great way to deal with
We're
this.
putting the hormones in the baby bottle, okay? No girls in this house. But we have 4 embryos frozen.
I see them over
and
there.
they're all boys, so we have our little dolls to represent them.
You know for sure
and
they
we do
are?
have a trans, yeah, we got them tested, but we have a trans kid just in case.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Just playing the
odds. Of
odds.
course. I mean, we're open. We'll love you.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
love
yeah.
you whatever you choose.
Yeah.
Come to us, babies.
How come I can't really see their faces?
Well, we don't care about them. They're not real yet.
Okay,
They're not.
okay.
We don't want to have real feelings for the dolls.
Right. And so what are you going to do if somebody, like you get to 2 and you're like, oh, this is impossible. What are you going to do with the other 2?
Give them to Josh Potter so he can use them to their stem cells to get his eye better.
Does he try to do that? Is he going to do that?
If he could, he would.
No. Josh will not do anything medical. You saw the abscess crawling up his ass. He wouldn't do that.
I went with him. He did do it. He's
but
better.
I know finally it took me
He's a big boy.
took me almost 2 years.
Well, you changed him. You did it. It worked.
I know.
He's a good
of course
boy now.
it worked.
He really is. He got really laid very recently by a very hot girl he had a crush on too.
No kidding.
We're very proud
that
of Josh.
dude is living his best life.
We want to do when he wasn't getting laid by the girls he had crushes on, we wanted to do a thing called we still will do it. Queer eye for the one eye. And then we give him a makeover.
Who gave it that name? Oh, you are evil. Use that mind for good. Will
Josh,
you please?
Pot-eyed Potter, we're so mean.
Please use that brain for good. Only for good. God knows where it could go.
I do. I have collected through my travels. I've collected like a sea of molested people, and it's really. I love my meet and greets. They're a little trauma dumpy, but it's. I have a good boundary up where it's not like affecting me.
You've worked on it, yeah.
But it's really like it really is like an honor to meet everyone.
Yeah, make sure everybody gets treatment.
Just express it.
People have that bullshit about it doesn't bother me anymore.
No, totally.
But just tell me why those guys are such assholes.
Yeah. Or why I like
repeating.
TMJ.
Yeah, why I keep scratching, whatever it is.
Why I'm plucking my hair out, plugging my mustache hair. That's one of my soothing.
Who told me they did that? Somebody else just told me they did that.
It's so it literally is the most calming thing I've ever done in my life. I wake up with bloody holes in my lip. I'm like, woo.
It's calming and aggravating to her.
Cut that part out. Anyway,
the holes was a joke.
We'll talk about trichotillomania later.
I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. It did develop over the pandemic.
That is trichotillomania.
When I was like,
that is hair pulling. That is unmistakable hair pulling. Now, whether or not you really have a problem is
diagnosis number 1. Or we diagnosed my mom as molested too. We have 2 diagnoses.
Yeah, we got 2. We got trauma with the mom somewhere.
Now, okay, so with all of your shows you did Loveline, which was where I first fell in love. Sorry, I'm not going to look you in that because I love your wife. I didn't want to make it weird. Your wife is amazing, by the way.
She is, I know.
I love your whole family.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
I would totally go on family vacation with you guys.
That's a really interesting idea. That's a show. What are we going to call that
Annie's
one, Annie?
crashing. Yeah, Annie crashed a vacation.
Where would we go?
I want to go to like Greece with you guys or somewhere.
Greece? Did you see the Greece trip we took?
Did you already go? Yeah, maybe that's why, because I was so jealous.
Yeah.
Todd has to get a passport.
Yeah.
Why do you have a passport?
I just have never left the country or like wanted to.
You are a citizen,
recently.
yes?
Yeah.
He wasn't sure with those eyes.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Because my mom is.
You should want to leave this country. There should be a desire.
Yeah,
I know, but sometimes I get scared. My parents are like the exact opposite of Annie's parents. Like Annie's parents are very like free and like
take our children. They're like they go
not
like
gullible, but like naive.
They'll go
almost,
like, wow, everyone's so mean to this guy in town. Do you want to babysit my daughter? We trust you.
And my parents are the opposite.
Oh. I was going to say, what is it? What's the deal? What's it? Hippies, Quakers.
Quakers.
And so are you the Mexican-American prince?
No,
my mom is Laotian.
Asian, secret Asian.
And my dad is like a white guy from
Don't
Jersey.
tell anyone because his cousins keep getting punched in the face. His cousin just got punched in the face, his Asian cousin.
We don't hear about Laotians a lot, they're here for sure. And
down Lao.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Well, President Obama was the only president to address Laos for us bombing them like in the 70s. And
again, living through all that, Laos was on the news every night. Laos and Cambodia. And we really didn't understand. I don't think the Americans really understood what the hell was going on. And they'd never heard of the Khmer Rouge, I don't think.
Right. Yeah, it was like the Secret War, it was called. Or like
it was terrible. I mean,
that's how his family came over.
Yeah.
Really, really, really horrible. really terrible.
His mom was telling like the story of how she came over here. Like his dad was, or his grandfather was a spy for the Americans. So they ended up getting sponsored to come back to America.
Nice, but I'm sure it was.
But
risky.
it was like, I mean, your mom, she's so funny and she's so free. It's like not free in the way my parents are, but like very like, I mean, she just laughs her ass off all day.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is shocking what she went through.
I know. And I never like considered her like having any trauma. And then I watched, what was it? It was like Married at First Sight. And one of the girls in
Makes
there
me cry too.
was Laotian. And she was talking about how traumatized she was from the refugee camps because the shit they saw there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, one night I was just like, oh my God, maybe my mom is like traumatized.
And then what did
just
you
having
do?
to leave her homeland or having war hanging over here. By the way, have you seen MILF Manor?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, I haven't
dude.
seen it yet.
It's a reality show.
This is your jam.
Are you in it?
No, my wife's in love with it.
That's
She can't stop watching. I figured you.
It's about like young guys hooking up with.
Oh, I did see the
males,
previews
right?
for that. That's amazing.
Right.
And he's 11 years younger than me too.
As someone that has produced reality shows, when I saw it, I thought, I know exactly what they're doing.
Should we produce a reality show together?
We're going to do it. Will you travel with us?
Because we are like, no, because we really are like, we're such reality show people.
But listen,
we're so
they lined it up and I said, I know what this is. Each of their sons are going to be the dudes there. And it's all their sons.
No, oh my God. That's so horrifying.
So awful. It is so fucked up.
That is so disgusting.
I shouldn't even be making fun of it and recommending it to you. I'm so troubled by it.
Each of whose?
So the opposites are going to be like they're dating the other one's son.
Every mom's son
is
on
of
the
a certain
show.
age is on the show.
Not like matched with them, obviously.
Yeah. No, they're not dating. They're dating the other women's sons.
Oh, that's going to be bad.
Oh,
And it is.
I like that.
And already.
He loves older women. He's a sickie. He must have gotten diddled by a babysitter.
Oh, I should be talking about this because I can see through what's going on there. I just thought they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
It's going to last about 4 days and they're going to have to shut this thing down.
Yeah.
And I think it looks to me like that's what's happening.
People are going to freak out.
Well, they did that.
People are
for
freaking out.
another
It's
show.
really horrible.
Can't wait to see.
Well, didn't they do
Sounds
that
awesome.
for? It was called like Date My Dad or something, or Date My Parents.
And they shut
did that.
it down.
They did one season. Remember, the kids had their parents on, and then the parents thought the kids left, but they're like trying to hook up their parents with their other.
They were like watching.
It was very weird, yeah. And then the kids were hooking
The role
up.
reversal stuff is like, guys, just be the parents. Just be the parents and be the kids. We'll be the parents when we have to like diaper you and stuff. Like I'll be your parent when I'm easing you off into the next realm.
Yeah. It is. We got to have another conversation after you've watched a little bit of this.
Okay. Yeah. Are you gonna try to make me break up with my young boyfriend?
No, I just by Wednesday, please have watched this.
I will.
Because I don't like that I'm even talking about it, but I can't help myself. I'm not kidding.
Okay, well, I wanted to ask you, speaking of reality TV, so you had Loveline, which was, did that ever become a TV show?
Yeah.
It was a TV show too.
5 seasons.
Because I used to listen to it on the radio.
It was on MTV. It was every night on MTV.
I think, maybe I was just watching on MTV too. As well, not MTV too. I was an MTV girl myself. I was on Girl Code and Guy Code.
That's
right. If you look back on those, I'm sure we said some cancelable things. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the way they set up the show was you would do all 18 episodes. You would film all of them, and they would only pay for the episodes you got in. So it encouraged you to really be psychotic. To really say the craziest things you could possibly say to make that cash. That's why Andrew Schultz's way is.
I just went out in the desert and did a reality show. You know this?
Oh, what did you do?
Oh, look up the Special Forces.
Okay. Oh, you did that show. Oh, you were a contestant on it? How was it?
Nice.
Oh, I want to see it.
Yeah, we did want to see
it was brutal.
With Britney Spears' little sisters on it.
Jamie was there. Jamie actually saved my life.
Wow. Good for her.
Came away with 15 great friends.
Okay.
But
I thought you say 15 grand. I was like, that's not enough.
No, 15 great. But it was. I brought it up. It occurred to me to bring up because I was saying I don't like the reality shows that manipulate. I like the ones that are just these extreme circumstances. Just let it run.
Love it. We're big Survivor fans.
So Celebrity Rehab was like that, right? Celebrity Rehab was like, I just kept telling the producer, I go, look, shit goes down in treatment. It always does.
Yeah, you don't have to manipulate.
Just stop it. Just stay the hell away. And then I'd insist they stay away.
Yeah.
Because it gets dangerous when they start messing around.
Especially
These are
with people that are fucking drug addicts. Their lives are in
sick
danger.
People, I'm trying to treat them. It's like, just stay out of this. And shit went down.
I want to. Okay, keep going.
Are you watching the trailer?
No, I'm looking at the cast.
Oh yeah,
there's some cool
Watch the trailer.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, Dwight's
awesome.
in there.
Yeah.
you watch the trailer. Your mind will explode. You won't believe what the
well,
hell
I
it is.
love
seen
doing
it. We have
like
seen the trailer.
I love my favorite thing in the world is to like conquer fears, whether it's like eating a nasty
Well,
bug.
I'm going to
or, like,
recommend
anything.
you if they do another.
I would love. I
Special
would
forces.
die. I would love to do
You're
it.
going to train for a while.
I would love to train for it. You're
Yeah.
looking extra
Yeah.
ripped. Always
Thank
ripped
you. Thank
though.
you. It's very kind. But it was.
Your shirtless pics, I'm always like, Josh, what are we doing? Why is Tucker, you're so much rippeder than us? We're doing a ripped and rich challenge.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I
podcast.
am though is a lot older than you, and because of that, shit happened to me in the desert. My age got
Really?
me.
How old are you?
64.
64, looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a vampire, eh? I can't tell. Yeah, no, but we love Survivor. We love MTV's The Challenge. We're like,
Yeah, things where you just have
And
to
we-
be. You know,
She's trying to get on the challenge.
we get so starstruck around realities. I mean, like
Which is-
freak out.
that's crazy to me.
I love them.
Yeah.
Well, I like it because it's like even if they're produced, you see real raw emotion.
Yes, yes.
And I think everyone's so afraid of getting canceled on things that they're kind of so like light in so many scripted shows that you're not really
that's
like
true.
seeing
It's
like
a good point.
real stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm just craving that. And I just love when you see these people and then you meet them in person and they're exactly, and I'm so grateful for even like the villains. We ran into one of the villains of Big Brother in Vegas.
yeah,
I got to
we
post
did.
that picture. And it was, I just only had love for him.
Well, Kenya was in the desert with me.
Oh, wow.
And I only have a very good relationship with
Yeah.
her. I mean, you know, you'll see I didn't stay long enough to develop anything else, but I got sick out there in the desert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you scared
I was so out of it.
that you couldn't even have the
So,
experience?
yeah. But I got to bring up my shows.
Yes,
because
bring
I
them
always
all up.
forget to talk
Yes,
about them. And my
yes.
wife just brutalizes
Yes.
me because she produces this one that we're having a lot of success
Yeah.
with called Ask Dr. Drew, Wednesdays at 3:00, streaming show, Pacific, 3:00 Pacific. Get it at drdrew.tv. And it's with me and this woman named Kelly Victory, who's another physician, ER doctor, that sees things kind of differently than I do. And then we've been interviewing all the people that have been canceled during the pandemic.
Oh,
And it has
wow.
been very interesting. Yeah. Canceled doctors and
Yeah,
scientists and
that's
things
so
like that.
cool.
It's very interesting.
And
We're
how
also
did they
doing-
get canceled? Because of the vaccine stuff?
anything. It was, I mean, guys like Jay Bhattacharya, who was this consummate professional, you know, this epidemiologist from Stanford, got canceled because he said, I think there might be other ways to do this than lockdown. Boom, destroyed.
Yeah, wow.
It's just
That's
destroyed.
so crazy.
That kind of stuff. And then when you hear these people actually talk, you're like, oh my God, they canceled some of the most significant voices, like the best, brightest,
Yeah.
you know, most longest careers, you know, unblemished, going to destroy those guys.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, what a mess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I also
That's a
do
great show,
also
though.
Your Mom's House. I do
Yes.
Doctor After Dark. Gotta watch for that. And then I do some stuff over Corolla. Adam and I still are together
I
after
know.
all
I
these
was going
years.
to ask you that. Has it always been good, or did you have a
We had
relationship?
a little up and downy stuff, but never bad. And one thing he always appreciated, I appreciated, and he'd sort of call it that we were gentlemen. We'd always shake hands. Even when we had conflict, we'd always kind of go, look, we're adults. Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Just move on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So, and now we're very close. Now
Yeah.
I'd say that we're sort of, all that, it sort of feels like prologue. You know?
Yeah. I got asked to do a show and I haven't followed up. I got to
should
do
do
that.
it.
I would love to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know him that well. I mean, I've just seen him around the comedy store a little bit.
It'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Loveline was fucking so awesome. It was so crazy how fucking perfect and awesome that show was.
For the moment, yeah.
And the age that I was, like, it was just, I mean,
People-
what year was it?
I started we're doing it in 83.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's when I was born.
And
So
it
I
was
didn't see
one
that.
night a week in the middle of the night back then. And then it slowly went to 5 nights a week. And then it got syndicated. And then Adam came in and then it
Yeah.
went to TV and, you know, kind of went on from there. But the 90s were sort of the salad years of this thing.
It was so cool.
Or maybe part of the 2000s. And people can't appreciate, you know, anybody that was born after, you know, 1990, let's say, or even 85, can't appreciate how there was nowhere to go
Yeah.
for young people. They had no information.
Yeah.
And I remember what that was like. And it was really actually HIV and AIDS that got me started because I was asked, you know, I got a chance to be on this thing at the time when Dr. Fauci at the time, my hero at the time, was telling us young doctors we had to go out and educate. We got to educate. We got to scare them. He was saying, use fear. You scare them. They understand they're going to get AIDS. You know, there'll be 2 million dead. And so I started talking about it and I realized no one had heard of it.
Wow.
Young people had never heard of it. It was the most unbelievable thing I'd ever imagined. And so I thought, well, I got to keep coming back. And, and that was before we had a causative agent, before we had coined the term safe sex, before we had treatments for AIDS. I mean, I was at the time, I was deep in the AIDS pandemic treating patients, and nearly every day I was sitting somebody down and telling them they had 3 months to live.
Oh,
every day.
Because that's how fast it progressed back then.
By the time they came in with their first episode of pneumocystis pneumonia, that was it. 6 months max.
Oh my God.
And we were just never wrong. We had nothing to do. So anyway, let's bring the whole thing down. Let's
that's
bum Annie out.
Okay. We can
bum Annie out
We can AIDS it out.
So,
Fauci, cute.
Yeah, that's why he was always my hero forever and ever and ever.
Are you still cool?
After he seems a little adulterated in the recent experience, but it is interesting how some of his biases back then played out here and didn't have the same. It's a new time when those kinds of biases have real serious impact.
Mm-hmm.
If you scare people now, they turn into a mob and freak out, and that's not good. That is not good.
It's got to evolve the approach now.
I mean, when conspiracy theories start to be
right, and when you had 4 networks and you can spend 3 minutes on each of the networks every night, you had to refine your message, tell them the same thing, and try to get some motivation. By the way, we learned during the AIDS epidemic that none of that works anyway. To really change health behaviors, you have to have comedy and music and the narrative and that kind of stuff.
You have to sing instead of scream.
That's right. Not the guy in the white coat. That is no bueno.
Sing instead of scream. Oh my God. I almost took an Adderall for this and I was like, Dr. Drew will see right through me.
Why do you take Adderall?
Only when I'm exhausted. Or I need to clean the house. It's crack.
So,
He would have seen right through it. You're like, are you on fucking Adderall?
But I want to talk about that if I can.
Let's talk about Adderall.
Yeah.
We talk about Adderall on this a lot. Our producer that comes when we do a solo podcast is very cracked out on Adderall. It's wild.
Yeah, no, he's prescribed to. He needs it, I think.
I don't know. He seems crackier than someone
Has
that
he been
is
on
Adderall.
Crack or done that?
No, but I had to confront him when he first started working. I go, what is going on?
That's not how it's supposed to work.
I want you off the fucking set, you prick! Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur. Let's go again! And let's not have you fucking walking in! I wanna fucking kick your fucking ass! Shut up for a second, alright? No! No! Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
All right, you guys, this is my favorite product. I take it every day, 4 pills a day, because along with 30 million women, I also experience weakened or thinning hair, and I take control of my hair with Nutrafol. You will begin, because I began, to experience thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in 3 to 6 months. You just got to stick with the regimen.
She gets these little baby hairs that are nice and thin, and they kind of are a little weak. So it's good to have some products out there.
Are you talking about me or yourself? Because I also have a baby boyfriend who's very weak. He's got very noodly arms. The only thing he can do is grow a beard. He was born Nutrafol. I love it. I really love Nutrafol. It's so good. It's just like, it makes me feel nice, cute, and fresh. And
she does. She packs her giant pill thing of Nutrafol.
I have like 50 bottles of Nutrafol everywhere. I have one next to my bed that's empty now. I have to get a new one. I have one in each suitcase. I have them all around. And then I also have them in little individual ones because I have ADD, and I packed like a month's worth of them and then lost all of the little things everywhere.
Sometimes she drops them in the house and Randy eats them up and the hair grows around his
Randy
eyes.
had mange, okay? So he has bald eyes. It actually is very good for him. Don't give it to your dog because they didn't tell me to, but if it gets a pill.
I mean, it's just vitamins. It's 100% drug-free with only natural, clinically effective botanical ingredients.
Were you scared about saying botanical?
You said that last time, so...
I'm a hack, is what you're saying? Well, I'm sorry, I know my bow because it's botanical, but you say botanical. You sound it out very mechanically. You're very mechanical. It works by targeting the 5 root causes of thinning: stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, and really annoying boyfriends. I mean, metabolism. Todd's not annoying. I love my bow.
Well, here's the thing. I have a great metabolism. I poop about 3-4 times a day. So Nutrafol will just help me getting that.
Let's just say the toilet.
Get those over to 6 to 7
The toilet
times.
is Nutrafol, okay? It's not much Nutra, but mostly full. Subscribe for monthly deliveries so you never miss a dose. It is hard because sometimes I do get off track and it's like you have to get back on the regimen. In clinical studies, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after 6 months. You may also notice improvements in your overall well-being, including a more restful sleep, less stress, better skin, nails, and libido. So you can hop on that
Didito.
Pepino. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support the show by going to Nutrafol.com and use promo code AnnieWood to save 15% off your first month subscription. Do it. Be part of my club. I do this. Take what I take. This is their best offer and only available to U.S. listeners for a limited time. Plus, free shipping on all orders. Get 15% off and be like your girl at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code AnnieWood. Stand up for your strands and get Nutrafol. Ooh, I love this. I love this. I love this. Oh, do we?
Ooh, I love a Zoc doctor.
It's like a zaddy daddy, but Zoc doc. Okay, it's only hot doctors. No, but maybe you'll find that out on ZocDoc if your doctor's hot, if that's something, a criteria you're looking for. ZocDoc is like such a savior. We have had so many bad doctors. Do you remember the doctor I went to for my sinus infection who was mad at me for having sinus infection? He like just didn't believe me that I had symptoms. He was livid. It was so annoying. I wish I'd had ZocDoc to help me because there's nothing worse than going to a doctor's appointment and having your doctor seem like they have better places to be, especially when you need so much attention like me. I'm like, you don't watch AnnieWood? Okay, you don't get it. Instead of checking you out, the doctor's just checking the clock or his Apple Watch in my case. On ZocDoc, you'll find quality doctors who focus on you, listen to you, and prioritize you. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. Choose from thousands of patient-reviewed doctors and specialists, browse doctors' profiles, see if they're hot, upload and verify your insurance information, and get the care you need. I had a doctor that just went on vacation for like 3 months. He obviously made a lot of money because he was gone. I was like, I am dying. Where are you? Todd, do you have anything to say about ZocDoc? You're sitting there.
I mean, I just want my doctor. I want to know if my doctor, is a man, a woman, or an in-betweener.
I want my doctors to be in-betweeners. I want them to know both sides of each gender. I love, honestly, this is going to sound racist, but I don't care. I love Asian doctors. I love them.
I like my doctor to be Asian, Indian,
non-white,
black.
non-white. Honestly, really, when you see a white doctor, you're like, do you think you're better than me?
And with ZocDoc, you could pick what ethnicity you want, and it's amazing.
Height? I like a tall doctor. I actually don't like them to be too tall. I like them to be a couple inches shorter than me so they can gaze into my mouth and see my tonsils. You don't want just anyone banging on your knee and checking your things, checking your vitals for my Crocs. I don't like a doctor in Crocs. I don't like a doc in Croc. And that's why I go to ZocDoc to make sure my doctor doesn't wear Crocs. Go to ZocDoc.com/Annie and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. Thank you, because how annoying is it waiting for a doctor? You're like, okay, it cleared up.
You're like, I'm dying. I need to go. I need to come in.
And then you show up and you're dead. They drag your body in. That's ZocDoc.com/Annie. ZocDoc.com/Annie.
ZocDoc.com. Try to say that 5 times fast.
ZocDoc.com. I did say it. Our next partner is Athletic Greens. I drink this baby every morning. It's so good. It tastes so delicious.
AG1 by Athletic Greens was the morning booster that I needed.
You've never taken it. See, Todd lies and I tell the truth. I take it. Just scoop, shake, and have alongside your morning coffee or OJ. So good. I don't drink OJ in the morning, but
the sink is filled with all this green mess and this green stinky stuff. And that's all because Annie drinks so much of this Athletic Greens.
Maybe you should make it for me and then it'll make it into the thing. I wake up, I'm tired. I spent all my money getting you LASIK. I can't have LASIK in the morning now. You're the one that can see.
LASIK in the morning?
You can see in the morning because I got you LASIK. You should be the one. I gave you the gift. Not as well as you. I gave you the gift of sight. And you're not even using it to make sure the powder gets into my shaker container that they gave me. That's really cute. It's like taking your shelf of multivitamins in one drink and it tastes so good. It's just a cute little green mixture. I love it. It's so good. My personal trainer loves it too. She came in and saw that I had it and she got very excited. And then I told her I was sponsored and she bowed to me. She got on her knees and she started bowing to me. Packed with over 75 vitamins and minerals for a major boost to your gut, mood, energy, and even skin, hair, and nails. You know I like my nails. It's the healthiest thing you can do in under a minute. Okay? And I do a lot of under 1 minute challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
she
Todd?
holds her breath.
That's what we call having sex with Todd. Dude, you can get it's the healthiest thing you can do while banging Todd. If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. I take these on the road with me. They're great. You never have to deal with like when you swallow the pills and they get stuck in there and then you're burping up vitamin taste. They just taste absolutely delicious. Go to athleticgreens.com/AnnieWood. That's athleticgreens.com/AnnieWood. Check it out, guys. Okay, so I wanted to ask you some like love line questions.
Oh, good. This is easy.
So
Why don't you just Google it?
I want to hear your expertise.
All right.
Go to my childhood source. What is behind foot fetishes? Because I have so many foot fetish guys. I pixelate my feet. Kind of as a joke, but also like
you have foot fetish fans?
I have a foot fetish phobia in the sense that can you just give me my fucking feet? You have to fuck my feet, dude. Just give me my feet. This is the body part I had off.
Have you been with foot fetish?
I actually have never been with a foot fetish guy. Todd, I feel like might be closeted.
I'm not closeted.
You're touching my feet a lot.
Does she have
You're
great
putting them on
feet?
your junk a little bit.
God. Here's the thing. She's got like stinky feet that foot
I do
fetish
not
people
have
like.
stinky feet.
They
You
like
have
stinky feet?
You're projecting. You're projecting. But you know there's some of the foot fetish people that are like, here, put these shoes on without socks and run around and then come back. They like that cheesy smell. But I just started I didn't realize once I saw I had a wiki feet, I felt like betrayed. I was like, because I didn't know. I didn't know I was like had my pussy feet out.
Do you have great feet?
They're okay. They're good. They're
Well, they
not
must
like,
do something for somebody.
I'm not like embarrassed of them or anything. They're pretty good, but I just felt like I'm not giving them to you to jerk off to. So
yeah,
why are you taking them? So I started just pixelating them, but there's like an uproar in the foot fetish community. They're very mad at me because they feel very entitled to my feet. They're very mad that I pixelated.
So I'm wondering if no one really knows where the fetish comes from, really. But I'm wondering if that dominion is part of the thing. Because
I'm taking it away from them.
Well, so here's some of the theories. One of the theories is that something intense happens to a child, some sort of trauma-esque thing, and they're down low there, crawling, and this is what they're seeing is the feet, and that sort of somehow becomes associated. Yeah. Also, there's another theory that the region of the brain where sort of the visual kind of foot area is sort of connected to certain sexual desire areas. So there might be some wiring, some endogenous wiring stuff. Yeah, that just happens. And there's all kinds of other, psychoanalysts have all kinds of theories.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and it is fun to tease them because of the entitlement to my feet. I feel like I'm allowed to tease a little, but I love little weirdo little foot.
And so you're zeroing in on some of the psychoanalytic stuff. You wonder if it's does it get associated with sort of domination, and
maybe,
those kinds of
because they probably like a little bit that I'm
doing.
And
do they like the foot to be pushed on them, or do they like to see you squishing bugs? There's another whole thing in that.
I always ask
Have you seen that one?
Natasha Leggero will post her crushing cake. I'm like, oh my god, Natasha, you're going the opposite.
Yeah, it's like crushed porn. I think it's called. Where you get
but it's all feet. It's still feet and all that. And I have zero. I don't understand it. I have zero. But whatever you're into,
man. It's like cilantro. Some people just aren't into it.
Right. My genetics don't sync up with that.
It's like soap.
Right. Yeah. So it's not something I fully understand. I'm sure there are lots of theories, but I don't think any of them are sound yet.
But I always have this theory too, like making fun of kinks is like, I'm like, isn't that part of the kink? Like that you're not like normal.
Well, it depends on the kink. Don't you want to be
a little bit kink shamed? Is that kind of cute?
If they're in shame, yeah.
Well, if they're in that dominatrix kind of thing, but if it's something else, I mean, maybe they just like feet. And
it's just like I think back in my life, how many times people might have been. One time I thought people were staring at my feet when we're at lunch, but he had just gotten new Yeezys, and I realized the guy was just looking at his shoes. But I mean, there were times I'm like, you don't just get to
Let
have
me see
my
your feet. I got to see your feet. I mean, we're getting
right
to.
now.
I got to see the star of the show.
They're not good right now.
Do you always paint them red like
they
that?
Get different colors.
Different colors.
I haven't shaved my toes in a sec.
On there.
I'm trying to understand what it is.
But I think they would be good because the toes are long. Like I think they could.
That's what I noticed about them.
I have a high arch.
Yeah, so I noticed three things.
Fuckable parts.
I didn't think of it that way. Like I said,
5 out of 5 stars on WikiFeed.
Yeah, I got a good rating.
So it's long, straight toes.
Yeah.
It's Snow White. You're Snow White.
Like spray tan. They like my spray tan for you as well.
And the arch. So I suspect that's some of it. And so.
And they're bigger. I don't know. I feel like they like
Those
smaller feet sometimes. No, using big feet. Thank you.
Women have this weird thing about big feet.
Yeah, but they get bigger when you're pregnant too. I think.
Yep, they spread.
Yeah.
A friend of mine. I'm not going to tell her because she was people don't figure this out, but she was an Olympian swimmer.
Yeah.
And I was looking at her one day and goes, "Oh my God, your feet are like fins. That's fantastic." And she was
devastated.
I'm like, no, I'm like,
you were bred to do this.
I'm really admiring
You're a water
it.
person. You're avatar.
Because your feet, most men could care less about feet, right? And in fact, it strikes me sometimes how women are so into the shoe thing.
Yeah.
Like I was in a green room once. I think Geraldo was in the same room with me at the time, and this woman walked in the room. Her foot had just entered the room, not her body, her foot, and a woman shouted, "I love your shoes." And I was like, "How do you do that?" Men, we go, we're screaming, we're going up and down, we're sort of symmetry, we're looking at things.
We're looking at our tits and our ass. We know what you're doing, motherfuckers.
But it all has
our
to
hips are like childbearing.
Yeah. Whether we know it or
fuck me, I can't tell. Do you think she'd fuck? I could
whether
probably bang her.
Whether they know it or not, that's a male brain. That's what it's doing. Does not include the feet or the shoes.
Well, sometimes that's how you can catch a foot fetish guy. They go up, down, from up.
Yeah, they get preoccupied here, which is interesting.
But I think with women, like I love complimenting women. Like I just love to like kind of go like, I'm safe. I'm here to have a good time with you. I'm not a threat. I'm not competing with you. And so I'll immediately be like, I like your nails, or I like your shoes, or like I'll just find something I like about them and I'll immediately say it just to be like, I'm not gonna,
so you're manipulating them, is what you're saying. You're good
at
manipulating women.
But I do have a lot of compliments for people. I do like to say them like as the minute I say them.
Nice.
Just
that's
and some
nice.
people don't. I mean, I have like a harsh, like delivery sometimes. So people get like they'll think I'm like I'm not making fun of you. I swear. But let's just say I was the funniest bitch at that ayahuasca ceremony. God, I was killing. I was funny the whole time. I was like I'm being divinely inspired to be even funnier.
Did
than
you
I
get funnier?
I think I might have gotten funnier. I do feel a little unlocked here.
But yeah, so back to complimenting women, I think that's good. I think women are it really breaks my heart how hard women are on women, on each other.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just unnecessary. And
my dad was always kind of like making fun of women for weight and stuff.
You make fun of them?
He'd just be like, oh, God. It's funny. My dad's fat, though. So it's like, it's not projecting. My dad's a little,
He's a little fake.
He's a little, hey, girl. It's fun. It's my dad.
Oh my God.
Hi, Dad. Dr. Drew's here.
How are you?
We're talking about Loveline. Remember the old days?
The old days, yes.
I'll call you back. I love you. Did you have anything important you wanted to say?
No, I just butt dialed you, I guess.
You didn't butt dial me. You're looking at me, liar.
Okay, all right.
What do you want to say? Can you hear him on this?
A little bit, yeah.
No,
Do you have any words of wisdom?
Yes. Love transcends everything.
Oh, love trans. Yes, we do.
Love
we love the trans.
Love trans or love transcends?
He said transcends.
Love trans. That's a good message.
It's such a pleasure, man.
I love you, Papa.
Love you too.
Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. My dad's really funny.
So I didn't get any of the qualities that you mentioned.
What's that?
But he does look like some of the TikTok guys we make fun of in your mom's house.
No, he's very smart.
He's really smart. My dad was Mensa, and
what's his ethnicity?
He is like Jewish and
yeah, I got that.
Maybe British. I don't know. We don't really know. His mom was adopted, and my grandfather was a German Jew.
Yeah, I get him. I think he's more in that
zone. A little Ashkenaz.
Yeah, he's in that zone.
And then he's Jewy gossipy.
That's his mom?
And then his mom was adopted. And then my mom was adopted. So it's like, yeah.
Interesting. Is that because of the war? Everybody war babies? And
I don't know what happened with his mom. I don't know what the deal was with my grandmother, but my mom was adopted because her parents were in college. They were in art school.
Have you done 23andMe or anything?
Yeah, we're just about to post one of my jokes about it where it's like every time I do it, I get more Jewish. Like every time another family, I'm like, Jesus, how fucking Jewish am I? I didn't even get a bat mitzvah. What the hell?
And is it sort of Hungarian, that Austro-Hungarian kind of stuff?
Ashkenazi is what they said, so I don't know if that's Hungarian.
Where if you do like, I think it's Ancestry, they'll show you where they migrated
really?
from.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll look more into it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it is pretty fun.
I'm getting a strong Hungarian-ish kind of thing. Yeah. No, the smarts. The smarts are where that is.
But my dad, I'm very like uneducated because I went to like,
hippie school.
Fucky schools.
Yeah. School with that sex. And
I was really good at laying on my back. I guess my stomach actually.
Do you talk to him about that?
Yeah.
Does he feel guilty, or is he?
He does feel guilty. He can laugh more about it. My mom like just wants me to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But they were even donating money to the school like up until
school might have straightened it out. Maybe they got straight.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? Chris Hansen. But there's so many. It was a very small school. There were 17 kids in my graduating class. And the amount of incidences I have found are so insane. Like, I feel guilty for the ugly kids that didn't get molested. Like, I actually feel bad for them.
And we keep learning about more and how it goes deep and how the teachers that molested were molested by their teachers
that were there. And like,
they went back to recreate it exactly.
Yes, but it's like, it is just so amazing to find and such a good lesson that
this should be a documentary.
I know. Yeah. That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
We want Chris Hansen involved. But my mom's like, no, stop. We're not going to do it.
You don't need Chris Hansen. Just do a really good documentary.
He's just a confronter.
And we just love him so much. We're just such fans of his. We just
Have you met him?
He's I really want to. Okay. Have you met him?
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah, we're very happy for him. He met his wife, his very age-appropriate wife.
We follow him on Instagram.
Her handle was, I love being over 50. We're like, yes, this is perfect for you.
Isn't it weird? Yeah, this older, any of these giant age gaps, much like that MILF Manor thing we were talking about, it's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
I mean, 11 years with us is not that bad, right?
These days, it's nothing.
He's like, but he's such a I don't know. Just Todd is everything. I love my Todd. He's so
but you guys
mature
seem
and
like peers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But these giant age gaps of people are on both ways, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it just seems.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like, it's interesting because I've dated older guys. And there's just a difference between how people age. They either like blossom open or they kind of go in and just crumble.
That's true.
And I've dated a crumbly one before.
Weird?
It's just like such an interesting choice. It's like, don't you want to like?
I think it's the biology meets how you've lived your life.
Yeah.
Because if you've been living it in a shrinking world, it's hard to bring it back out again. I mean, you get kind of, there's a real component to set in your ways. I mean, you get. You become who you've been. Yeah,
and maybe who you saw your parents be, do you think?
I don't think it's necessarily that. It's how you've lived your life.
Yeah.
People don't think a lot about that. I think it's the same thing when it pertains to marriage and things. It's like you're creating a life together. You're creating a family together.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, this marriage doesn't work. It's like, hey, dude, it's just not, there is the relationship at the center, but you're creating much more, and that needs to be paid attention to. Yeah, I told my wife just a couple of days ago, I said, accumulate less, do more. That's our new motto. Get the fuck out of here. Let's do stuff.
Yeah. So stop buying things, you mean?
If we're going to spend money, spend it on go out.
Getting
him a passport. He's going to need that when he comes with us.
Because
when
I'm
we do
thing
the Annie
person.
Lance here.
I know that you're joking and I'm dead serious. But I'm a thing person. I keep collecting things. And I had that in my ayahuasca journey too, an insight about that where I was like, I really want to respect my things. And I think in respecting them, I'm not going to get as many things, even though I just like things. I don't know. It's so fun.
It is fun.
I was like lived in my car. I was so broke for so long. It's like so fun to have money now.
Yeah, I know. It's a good
so
thing.
Incredible.
No, you should enjoy that. You should enjoy it also.
Right.
That's the other thing.
But not just have that thing come in and go, oh, what about this thing?
But you said something happened today. Was that the ayahuasca thing?
I flew in. Yeah, I flew in. I got on a plane at 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Eastern time.
I thought there was some more to this ayahuasca journey.
9:40. Okay. I drove in and then we got here. So
appreciate it. I appreciate that.
I just was like, this
is
going to be fun.
Way, 6:40, that place time is not 6:40 here.
It's 3. Yeah. So what's up? But I had my boundaries with the guy sitting next to me. It was a chatty guy. I love to chat. It's my number one favorite thing to do is talk.
On a plane?
Anywhere.
Oh,
anywhere.
What a nightmare.
He wakes up.
It's
he has
crazy.
to help me.
Yeah, I have to like shut her down sometimes.
No, I like
I
talking. It's great. Tell me it's not great like at a restaurant, a meal. You can just sit and be entertained.
Yeah,
right? It's just the best.
That's true. Yeah,
but on a plane, I don't usually want to talk. I bring work. I got shit to do.
No, I've grown to be this person too on the plane because I realize that's my time to rest, to sleep. A lot of times I'm flying into a show.
Did you ever imagine a plane would be so much part of your life? Isn't it crazy?
No,
to me, it's
I guess
crazy.
not. Yeah,
it's crazy.
But
you don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I've
bring him with
been
me.
starting to go with her, and it has been
I mean, when I was a kid, a plane was like, oh, you went
it
on
was so exciting.
Like maybe once in 10 years, you dress up.
Like you went to Arizona, I come back with like a Phoenix sunset. They're like, you went there?
Yeah. Now it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. But I like it. Ever since I started flying first class, I really like it.
It's a lot different.
It's just like,
but you're laughing. But the people understand it's not just that she's paying for first class. You get enough miles through the credit cards and the flying and stuff that you fly first class for nothing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, we're still working.
That's when it's fun.
And it's also fun. Well, I also like when I drop bank on, like there's something about spending money on myself and my comfort that feels so good. I just never had that.
Me neither. And that's why I can't do it.
Yeah.
So cannot do it.
Do you have like, what was your parents' like money?
Trauma.
Yeah, so you
they were severely traumatizing with the money, and now I did it to my kids, and now they're pissed. And I've told this story before. I think I told it on Trash Tuesday, but my father, they were depression destroyed. They're Holodomor, right? First they're escaping Ukraine in the Holodomor, then they get here in time to be destroyed by the depression. To not know if they're literally going to have a house or food.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his perception of what was going on at the time. And that got rained down on me. I can remember being a little child and him saying, "Oh, you've outgrown your shoes? Oh, okay. Well."
Like it was your fault that you grew?
You need it. You have to get new shoes? Go get them. I mean, I walked through the snow, holes in the shoes. It would tell some crazy story about Chicago in the winter. And then go, "No, but you get the shoes. But the next day, you're going to have to come visit me in the poorhouse because I'll be in the poorhouse." And
so it's like sheer
it's fine.
guilt
Get
for
the
just
shoes.
growing.
Get the shoes. But we can't talk, but I can wave to you through the window. I mean, this fucking elaborate place called the poorhouse that I was told about every day of my life. You don't think that traumatized the shit out of me? And so I became very, very anxious about it.
You were trying to stunt your kids' growth. You were making them smoke cigarettes as a kid.
I couldn't
Work
spend
out,
money.
Drink coffee.
Couldn't spend money, and I became a workaholic and all that good stuff. And so.
I do think that it is wild to have to buy clothes for kids and then they grow out of them immediately. I mean, that is like such a big expense that they're just immediately growing out of it.
So you're saying good idea to traumatize your kids if they start growing up.
You did great. It's their fault. It's their fault.
Yeah,
we
and
all
my mom
pray
was
for a little person.
And my mom was emotionally abusive, like really emotionally abusive. So
my dad was very verbally abusive when I was little.
Really?
But he's so good now. It's so crazy. Like my parents just did work. They just really did a lot of work on themselves.
Oh, that's good. Mine did not. But my dad turned out to be a really excellent grandfather. And so all was forgiven. Fine. And then my own therapy, I was able to sort of deal with my mom.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you get to a point where you just start to do what's good for you in that relationship because you don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, what do I need to do to be a good son?
Right.
I'll do that. Yeah. Because I know there's nothing in this for me.
And are your parents still alive?
No.
Did you feel like closure with them before they passed?
My dad probably, my mom, there was,
I
mean, Adam and I both had abusive moms, and so we've said, the one favor they did us when they died, it was like,
thank you.
There was no real, not a lot of grief because there was no real relationship there to begin with. So to begin with or to end with, for that matter.
Yeah.
So it's, a lot of, 11 years of therapy. It was good times.
Yeah. Well, I always feel like, people process their parents, whether like they either get to do it while they're alive and I'm sure it transforms when they die.
Well, I was able to change my relationship with them, set boundaries with them and be okay with things. And I really have no resentments or anything like that. Zero. And they did a lot of things right and a lot of things wrong and parenting is very hard. I
also really realized how scared my family. I was the only girl, and I was just like a pretty powerful girl, just like a
send her to the abuse camp for sure. This chick needs to be sexually abused.
She's gotta be abused. I know it was a school for juvenile delinquents, and everyone got kicked out of their schools except me. My parents just sent me there.
What?
They liked the art program, and I guess the art program really liked jizzing on my leg too.
Jesus.
They said, "Can I paint you?" I didn't know I was the canvas.
Oh my God. Oh,
the only
my
paint
God.
was white.
Well, if Annie wasn't molested, maybe she would have became like a world dominator or something. So maybe it was a
bad
Oh,
guy.
you mean they saved us from something?
Oh, they saved me from being Hitler.
She would have gone all
Genocide.
evil, all bad.
I didn't have I was angry as a kid
I like
because
that's Todd's feeling. Thank God you were abused.
I got his. I gave him LASIK.
That brain would have gone bad.
I gave him LASIK. I bought him LASIK. I gave him the ability to. I gave him sight, and this is how he fucking treats me. I'm gonna take those eyes back. He's not allowed to watch porn now.
But I have a question.
He can't watch his closed vision's all fucked up. He has to wear spectacles on to watch it.
But I have a question. You said you do like your show is like cancel doctors or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you ever get any? Because my family is a very vape positive family.
Oh,
like I think
vape tobacco.
Yeah,
vape nicotine. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, vaping nicotine.
Yeah. So me too.
Yeah. I want to know
So
what is like the word?
I find the war on vaping bizarre.
It's just cigarette companies, right?
Because cigarette companies are buying the vape stuff.
Wow.
I think that's where the paranoia started. And that when vaping first came around, every study done showed with absolute clarity that this was the most effective way to get people off cigarettes.
Wow, yeah.
And tobacco is the problem, not nicotine.
Yeah.
Nicotine is harmless. In fact, if there wasn't
right?
if people didn't have such a hard on about nicotine, we could start to use it as a weight loss medicine and all kinds of things. But people are nicotine is harmless. Now, it has one caveat. If you start using before the age of 16, 15, you have to have some kind of nicotine replacement your whole life. You don't. You can never. The way it addicts or makes a dependency more than addiction. Even you can never really undo it. The cravings and stuff are just always there. Later, you can get off cigarettes and be okay. It takes just a lot of very, very, very difficult. But tobacco is the enemy, not nicotine. Now,
congratulations, Todd.
I love that. Yeah.
Now, do you want to get off vape? Yeah, I'm sure it's not ideal. It's not great for your lungs to be vaping whatever the hell's in that stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of relative risk versus cigarettes, I mean, you want to get rid of the cigarettes. So
sorry, my brother is like
vaping's fucking up. I see that
sticky Red Bull, but no, my brother is he's like a vape mixer, so he's like a YouTube personality.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he like teaches you how to make your own
flavors
vape
and stuff.
Yeah, he can make you like mint chocolate chip cookie and stuff.
And my dad used to smoke like 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and he started vaping.
And he's like a roofer, so he's just smoking and smoking and smoking.
And now he doesn't even do nicotine. It's more of like an oral fixation. Yeah, he says it all the time, and people don't believe it. They're like, you'll see.
I think, and people are conflating vaping weed with vaping nicotine.
Yeah.
So my daughter's vaping. And they're afraid of the vaping as opposed to what are they vaping? Yeah. It's like crazy. And so I'm in that camp for sure. And it's very unpopular to say these things.
Really
but
is,
you're going to get canceled. You're going to have to do your own show.
Yeah, I know.
Be a guest on your own damn show.
I know.
I had a DMT vape once.
Ooh, well, I wouldn't recommend that.
That was not. I don't recommend it either.
That was too much.
It's like it's too little and too much. It's like why? It's
too
like,
short, too fast.
It's like not strong enough. So you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
It's just like a little weird. I saw Morgan Murphy once I hit it. Morgan Murphy came out into the Sacred Ground area where everyone smokes weed at the Comedy Store. And her hair was like glowing and rainbowy. I was like, oh my God, Morgan, can I lay on your tits? Come here.
But she was sober.
What's that?
But Morgan was sober.
Morgan was wasted. Morgan was drunk as shit. Oh, I love Morgan. But so my brain that would call the same brain that would call you Dr. Phil accidentally.
And the one that we're going to make sure you use only for good.
Right, of course.
Brain.
My very quick, beautiful, uneducated, but really quick, great brain.
Could go bad on us, as Todd has pointed
it
out.
Will not,
and we could have another Mussolini on our hands here.
I help molested people. That's all I do. I just tour around and help molested people.
She just found out who Mussolini was.
I know how she shames. She shames foot fetish people. She destroys their lives.
I tease them a little bit, but only because you're not entitled to my feet. But so okay, I forgot again. Hold on, I have ADD.
Those feet are pretty. They're kind of getting a little preoccupied with your feet.
Yeah,
thinking about them.
I know, it's like really good feet, guys. Sucks you'll never see them. I sell pixelated socks. But
you got to lean into that, I think. But okay.
It's funny. I know.
Todd
If
says,
I
yeah,
released,
he said, yeah.
If I released the feet, I could make so much money.
Yeah,
Annie's feet OnlyFans. I'm telling you,
Only
why
feet.
not? Only feet.
Only feet.
Yeah, I know. It is a weird thing. I would think it's the pheromones of the feet, like the smell, maybe.
No, I think it's the visual. I'm
like
trying to understand it. I'm trying to like get it.
Yeah.
And I can only men are so visual. It's got to be the visual. So anyway, what's the question?
So annoying. It's actually so annoying that you guys are so fucking visual. Give us a fucking break.
We are annoying.
I'm plucking my mustache over here. You guys give me a fucking
I've
break.
noticed you're allowed lately to talk a little bit more again about the biological differences between men and women. That was like forbidden for like 10 years.
I know, it's so weird. It's just like it's like everything can all exist. We can all be happy for everyone in their journey. It's
weird that people can't hold two ideas in mind at the same time. It's very narcissistic.
I know.
Very primitive that you don't do that. So
and I like Chappelle where he's like, to what degree do I have to participate in your self-esteem?
Right.
It's like, guys,
I love Dave.
Love yourself.
So much.
Love yourself. Like I can't love yourself for you.
Loveline, what do you got for me?
Okay. So Dr. Drew, Dr. Phil, Loveline, Dateline. This is where my thought went, okay?
Okay.
Why are people obsessed with murder and watching murder shows?
I don't
and
get
women
it.
more?
Yeah, murder porn.
What is it?
It's the craziest
it's so
thing.
Sick.
It is so sick. I don't understand. I guess it is I'm going to guess it is the intrigue, right? Women love stories and dissecting them and talking about them, but built off manipulation and secrecy.
Yeah.
Women have a thing about like everything's internal and secret. And I got a secret.
Mommy was mean to him. Mommy said mean things to Drew.
Right. And that is sort of gratifying. Like there's some sort of motivational system that is activated by this stuff. You should be ashamed of it.
Yes.
but it is clearly like highly motivating. And I get it. Once I get into it, these murder things, Dateline and whatnot, I get it. I have a hard time pulling away.
Yeah.
I want to see what happened.
And then I'll relapse. And then but I'm like, this is like worse than
But it's the
cigarettes.
difference. It's the difference between men liking to look at pictures and women liking to read pornographic stuff.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's
in that zone there somewhere.
We listened to a podcast where the guy will like literally make fun of you for listening to. He's like, "Oh, you're a sick fuck, just like me." And I'm not sick. I just like.
I don't know. But I really have had to quit it. It's just such a bad like vibe to have in your life. Like I really try to like really wake up every morning and have a beautiful day.
But it's good on one hand because it teaches people not to be some obviously trust is an important thing. People need to have trust, and people that don't trust anybody are not healthy. But some people have too much trust.
Yeah.
And they don't really fully get the spectrum of humanity.
Yeah.
And this sort of exposes them to that. I think it's kind of good.
Yeah. But also
like Annie's parents could have watched a murder.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could have watched a couple.
A little Chris Henson for
him. Oh my God. They really could have watched Chris. Why weren't you with us watching Chris Hansen? Me and my brothers were watching it. Yeah. It's so funny. But my dad talks a lot too. And whenever I'd be like a little down, he'd always be like, go out. This wasn't when I was a kid. This was when I was an adult. But he was like, just go out and talk to some strangers. You know that I'm like, Dad, this is how I got molested, motherfucker.
Did you say that?
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, but he's on to something. Yeah. He's actually on to something. If you can do that, most people can't do that. But seeing things through a new pair of glasses. So how we define ourselves and experience ourselves and really who we become is very much through exchange with other humans.
Yeah.
And when we start spinning in our own head, we get some of the same stuff back from people we're already in a relationship with because we've sort of built that, and there's like fittedness, and they see us a certain way, and we see them a certain way.
Right.
But to go out and be seen through a new pair of glasses, a new person can be very impactful.
Yeah.
So he's not wrong.
Yeah. And it does. We're extroverts, so I mean, I do come to life talking to people.
Yeah, I see. I can't do that. I can't do it.
She does it all day, every day.
I try. I talk to Bonnie McFarlane on the phone every day. She's not a stranger, but I'm pretty much doing crowd work.
We'll go to the store, and a 10-minute trip to the store will turn into a 45-minute trip. to the store.
I'm married to somebody like that too.
Yeah,
and it's uncanny to watch.
Yeah.
It's like, aren't you worried that they want to get on with their day? So
usually they don't. I've had some true bombs in And, you know, the best bomb is when they just don't hear you, and then you're like this idiot that just said a crazy thing to a stranger.
Yeah. I kind of like that.
But then there's time where people are like, people will be like, some guy called me a bitch once at a coffee shop.
Just for talking.
Yeah, I was like, Gabe, I was like, drink the coffee. I'll talk to you when you're putting the cream in, bitch. Jesus Christ.
But maybe there's an opportunity to go, let me hear what that was.
But I get when I can't, I fell for this. I got taken to the dark side the other day too, because I get like activated, and then I know I can crush these people. I'm good with my words, you know? And
please never let me see that.
No. But it's not too bad. But so this guy, I was going furniture shopping.
Why do I feel like you told this story somewhere?
But I was in a little bit of a rush. So I went to like the center over there that's got all the different.
Right over in Culver City.
Yeah. That's got all the different. So
the Furniture Mart.
I go to like 2 different furniture stores. Which
are all in the same building, by the way.
Yeah, they're all the same building. It's like all the same furniture.
Someone.
It's like all the same furniture. And then I'm walking by and there's this bar, but it looks like it sells furniture. And it was called something, like it had like bar stool in it or something. So I was like, oh, maybe you buy stuff here. So I go to walk in and this guy's walked in before me. And then I go, oh, I have my headphones. I take them off. I go, oh, what is this not? And he goes, it's a bar. And I go, oh, okay. And then I was like, oh, do you think they would care if I use the bathroom? And he goes, you're asking a lot of questions. And it was like 2 questions. I was like, what? And I was like, and I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry. I just have this Louis Vuitton purse filled with money I wanted to give to you. I'm so sorry, sir. But he's like, you see, and he goes, you're asking a lot of questions. I have to clock in. And I was like, so surprised that he was taking out his day on me.
Yeah.
So pissed at me. Like, I was just like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then, so I went, you don't really have to be mean, but whatever. And I left and I went to the store next door. And then when I came out, he was like dressing the tables. And I went, did you clock in? Did you clock in? And he was like, ugh, and like walked off. And I was like, I just took that bait. Like I just couldn't let it go. I just had to give him one like jab back. He was so pissed. And it's obviously he's just annoyed he's going to work and it's nothing to do with me. But
it's never about us.
It never is. It's so amazing when you realize
that. I mean, it's about us in the sense that we trigger stuff or we remind them of stuff or whatever, but it's never really about us.
I mean, I tried to
have... Or if it is, we should know about it, by the way. So maybe you should have checked in with him just in case.
Like, what did you watch my podcast? I'm sorry. Did I interrupt Kalila too much? But it'll be good tomorrow.
What will be good tomorrow?
Or Wednesday. I mean, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. You guys will work me over again.
Yeah, it'll be fun. No, oh my God, we're just like, oh my God.
No, it's like, so it was like, I got this problem, I got this problem, I got that problem, I got this problem, I got this problem. What about this?
And then we're putting so much section on you, but you're not really a sex counselor, are you? Or you are from doing?
No, so people get confused about my career. So
you're like a...
Yeah, I was an internist. I am an internist.
I was like, I was raped. And Josh was like, he's just a doctor. I was like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
So I've had lots of experience. So when I started practice, I was teaching general medicine. Mm-hmm. I was working in a hospital, both doing critical care and hospital care, and then outpatient medicine. And then about 2 p.m, I'd go to the psychiatric hospital and I'd stay there till 10 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I did that for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Not that quite at that schedule.
Man, your mom was a bitch.
Right. The workaholism. And at the psych hospital, I got exposed to everything. And I ended up taking over their medical services and then taking over the addiction services, which I did for about 20 years. So I always sat at the crossroads of medicine and psychiatry and psychology and family.
Right.
I had to know everything.
Yeah.
And all the way along, I was doing Love Line. So the stuff I was hearing on the radio was very pertinent to what I was doing clinically. And so I'm not a sex therapist, but I certainly have had broad experience with all this stuff clinically. And the addiction part and the trauma stuff was all mixed in there in terms of what I was treating.
And then did you have substance abuse problems yourself?
No, but I think my mom had a little alcohol gene there. I don't think it really got expressed, but it would be rageaholic.
My dad was like that too. My dad was he got diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder.
Oh my goodness. And how's he dealt? Was he on medicine for that?
He's not on medicine, but he just started doing he got a men's group where they cry together.
Good.
And he started getting all of his emotions out and he got rid of a lot of the shame he had. But he's 81 now and he's kind of he'll have these moments of deep sorrow for things he did to us when we were kids. And I'm just like, Dad, it's this is time for you. I love you. We're going
fine.
Out good. We're going out good.
How about your siblings? What do you have?
I have a twin brother and a brother who's 2.5 years older.
Are they cool with it?
With my dad? Yeah.
So they're fine.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
everyone's good. We laugh all the time. And my mom, I used to get so annoyed with her. And then I kind of looked at her and I went, I think this woman's frozen at 7.
Ooh, well, when she was abused? when
Maybe,
she got
right.
sexually abused.
But you don't think it being adopted was enough to be like a little bit?
Could be.
Because I always look at a lot of it as this like deep abandonment issue,
Sure.
and I think about that like that's got to be so hard for people.
Those are also the kids that are great targets for sexual abuse.
Of course.
So
yeah, it could be. I mean, she seemed like one of those people that was like a little more jealous that she wasn't molested than, you know what I mean? The ones who are like, everyone else.
I like how you're Annieing Annie's mom because Annie does this to everybody. She's like, you were molested. Yeah.
Well, I have kind of like there's a certain cadence of molested people, the funny ones, where they tell jokes kind of under their breath a lot, like really fast.
Yeah.
They do it, they joke really fast and you don't hear it always. And then later you're like, oh my God, that was like a perfect, like they just pop up from my couch and they're like, say something funny.
There's all kinds of behavioral characteristics of sexual abuse that you'll start to pick up on. Yeah.
And I draw them and I mean, my meet and greets are long as fuck. I mean, they really are like out the fucking door. I'm like, we're going to make shirts that say where on the doll did they touch you? And then I'll just sign the spot. But I love it. I love that we can all like laugh about it and stuff. It really is like, it feels really good.
I agree.
But I do try to talk more about breath work and all the stuff that I do to kind of like, that are different processes that I've worked on.
Body remembering the score, as they say. The body keeps the score.
Yeah. It's a book. Yeah. Did I read it? Have I read? Can I read?
Have you had the pain syndromes and stuff?
I get TMJ and I get cluster headaches.
But your body doesn't become a source of misery or anything.
No, and I went to
cluster headaches are pretty bad though.
My cluster headaches are like debilitating for a month.
There's
every 2
so many
years.
good medicines now for that. You drink
mushrooms.
Other than mushrooms, there are a lot of good
really?
things.
Because none of the medicines
Have
I've
you
ever
tried?
done.
There's so many new things.
Well, yeah, no, she hasn't had health insurance.
I only had health insurance for one cluster headache cycle, but I don't think I'm going to get that. I'm doing Rolfing where they're like,
fucking get health insurance.
I have it now. No, he doesn't. Good. Todd doesn't. I'm like, God, I pay for your rent. You can't get your own fucking health insurance.
It's insane not to get health insurance.
Well, it's crazy. You can't go. When I didn't have health insurance, my main issue was just full FOMO because people would be like, do you want to go horseback riding? I'm like, I can't go horseback riding. Like, you want to go ice skating? I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. I'm not going ice skating.
Smart. Good
They're like,
for
let's
you.
go ride bird scooters. I'm like, you're insane.
And most people just do it anyway, even without health insurance.
Way.
Good for you.
When I first became friends with Whitney, I mentioned that I don't have health insurance and she like pulled me aside and she was like, can you never say that to me again? She's like, it makes me so deeply upset that you don't have health insurance.
It should. Especially now, you can get something for next to nothing.
I used to have like company health insurance, and then like because I go from like company to company now, I don't.
You got to buy it.
Yeah, now I got to get on my own.
Congratulations.
Is it Netflix? Who works on Netflix shows?
Yeah, but you got to.
I know.
Buy
health insurance and passport this
year. Just go on, Cover California.
Yeah.
Pick something.
It's
do
easy.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's better than nothing, I would advise you to do something good.
Yeah.
But if just something.
No, I'll do the best.
Well, he's got money. Really. He's doing good.
Good.
He's my sugar baby.
Laziness thing.
Okay, so everybody in this room must commit to me that when this show is over, you will go and buy health insurance.
I have health insurance.
It will take 15 minutes.
I have health insurance.
You will do it. Okay? Will you do that for me?
15 minutes and I'll show you the world.
I definitely will.
Okay,
oh, Todd, it's so cute. That's one of his last like baby boy problems. His passport and his health insurance.
Baby boy, you just got health insurance 2 years ago.
And I've had it for 2 fucking years. I was baby girl.
How long have you been doing this pod now?
This will be like our 12th episode.
Oh, good for you. Do you like it? It's fun, right?
It's like
it's joy, right?
It's pure joy to have like full creative control.
Yeah.
And we have such good comedic chemistry and I just trust him and it's so fun to
and you just sit and you like to talk.
Yeah, I like to talk.
And you get to talk to people you're interested in.
And I only bring on the people that I'm not doing like the numbers game where you just bring on the people that are going to bring the numbers. It's like people that I love and I really want to highlight.
I know I'm a failure.
And so, we did.
But you know what starts to happen? What's interesting is you start to. This is bad.
Yeah.
You start to, if somebody goes, hey, can we go get some coffee sometime? I go, why don't you just come on the pod?
Oh, I'm already doing that. I'm already doing it.
We'll spend an hour together that way. We'll talk and talk and talk.
Juliette Lewis reached out to me. She follows me on Instagram and I obviously am obsessed with her.
Who is it?
Juliette Lewis, the actress. I'm like, couldn't.
I think I played poker at a table with her one time.
When she started following me, I was like,
how did she, why?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to hang out.
Get her in here.
And but she was like, we got to hang out or whatever. And then, she's busy. She's doing all these shows and stuff. And then I hit her up. I was like, come on my pod. And she hasn't responded, but I'm like, it's like,
the next
I should hang out with her first.
You got to do is get like a
audio board.
Audio board. You have to get a little portable audio board so you can go to people wherever you are as you travel around and stuff.
I definitely want to go.
Yeah, just put that camera in your suitcase and just go.
Yes, I do want to go to. We also, Todd puts like, we have like a intermission where he puts some sort of video. It's either like a video I made back in the day, the Annie archives, or he makes animations, or we do a vlog.
Oh my God, how fun.
So it's like but that's what's so fun. It's like we are like we love to make things as funny as possible and as entertaining as possible. And it's like so good. When you work with other people, it's like, it's so much harder to do that if they're not like aligned with that. Like I like to I'm a little workaholic a little bit.
Perfectionist.
Yeah. But it's, he's always got a little, I'm working with my shadow.
Hey, by the way, let me just say, and you'll, to that point.
Yeah. Which
is that I'm very bothered these days how pejorative people are around psychopathological labels. There really is almost, well, not none, but there are very few psychiatric syndromes that don't have assets associated with them. So they have liabilities and they have assets. Like OCD, anxiety disorder, it's great when you're a doctor because you check everything and and double check and triple check.
For you to be jumping into this chat after you just did that to me is so crazy. You're like, psychological disorders aren't always bad. I'm like, you motherfucker.
No, you said something about
before,
yeah. And I was
but
like,
we're that up.
Like ADHD.
Yes, but I do
ADHD, these
I look at
that. Mania and people, hypomania, do all kinds of wonderful things. Depressives, I mean, all the great writers were depressive.
Totally.
Alcoholism, there are a lot of, there's just,
I had fun. I'll tell you, when I was an alcoholic, I was
right.
It was party
it's
girl.
fun. And so when you look at it, it has liabilities, and when it starts to hurt you or hurt other people or create functional problems, well, now it's brought its problem.
When Todd can't sleep because I'm still talking. He said he wakes up in a full conversation every morning.
You got to do what I do. You got to do what I do. I've learned to let my wife's voice put me to sleep. And it pisses her off. But it's just, she'll start talking. I'll be out in like 2 minutes.
I don't give a shit if he's awake or not. I'll keep talking.
Yeah, no, I literally wake up already in a conversation about her talking about something. I'm like, oh yeah.
It's funny. Last night I yelled something out that was sort of part of a sentence that came out, and my wife immediately like, huh, what? What are you talking about? I go, dreaming.
He laughs in his sleep. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a dream that you dumped me.
To laugh in your sleep?
No, my son does. It's fun. It's fun.
I had a dream that you dumped me. What does that mean?
It means he's going to dump you.
No, I was so happy when I realized it was a dream.
My favorite part about women having dreams about their male partners is she has a dream that you dumped her and she wakes up pissed at you.
Oh, that has happened.
In a lot of trouble. Yeah,
I was really, but you got mad at me when I cheated on you in a dream.
Not really.
Yes, I got a little sensitive. Did you see that?
No, I always go, when that happens in a dream, I always go, you treated me like shit in a dream. Again, should I know something?
But it is like, the Jungian thought is that every character in your dream is like an aspect of your own personality.
Yeah, ultimately, but what people don't appreciate, and I think is much more significant than we know, than we're aware of, is how other people are introjects into ourselves. Like, I really think that we leave pieces of each other behind. I don't know what it is or how it works.
Diablitos. They're little devils inside your body. Get the fuck out of here.
Diablos.
Diablitos.
But it is, sometimes I think when psychics are doing their thing, they're just reading some of that residual something that's on us, that are particular significant relationships leave behind on us.
Or they looked at our Facebooks.
Or they're frauds.
A little charlatan. It's fun though. I like tarot cards and stuff like that as like a guide to kind of put you.
My wife is way into this. All her friends are psychics,
Oh, really? That's cool. What does that mean?
All her friends are psychics. That's what that means.
I've definitely used it in times of if you're in an anxiously attached relationship, tarot is really fun. You're like, what is he thinking? Oh, it's like he's thinking, get the fuck out of my house, bitch. That's what he's thinking. You remind me of my mom. I'm done.
It really should be, what should I be thinking?
Yes, of
Run,
course.
get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Well, it is what a trick I learned in heartbreak is every time I wanted to text my ex-boyfriend something, I would text it to myself. So if I was like, I miss you, I'd send it to myself. I love you, I'd send it to myself.
And then you'd send it to him.
No. Block. I got good. I learned boundaries these past two relationships.
So boundaries in terms of at the end of the relationship or during?
I mean, during, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, absolutely not.
So are you doing any work on that in therapy? Because I don't think ayahuasca is going to do that.
I think it does.
Really?
Ayahuasca's good. I really like it's like my subconscious mind coming to me. And
no, but that boundary is an experiential thing you have to do over and over and over again.
Yeah.
With
no,
people.
It is weird because being in a completely boundaryless childhood, which ended up working out for me, it made me fucking this crazy thing people like watching.
Yeah.
And but I do boundaries. I think are helpful for like maintaining relationships because I'm not bleeding over on everyone.
Yes, and also so you can be taken advantage of, and other kind of things can happen. You know?
But I guess I still need some work on boundaries because
boundaries are hard. They're experienced.
I help you with that. I have pretty good boundaries.
But I do want to get an actual therapist. I was thinking about that. I haven't
but getting a secure attachment with him with good boundaries can be the way you start to understand
But
them.
it really is like finally finding a securely attached person has been like unbelievable.
Yeah. So
I told his parents, I'm like, you ignored him just the right amount. He's like the perfect man.
Yeah, you don't want to pay too much attention.
Middle child.
His mom's coworker told me that she didn't even know she had a son, Todd, for years. And Vanessa just laughs her ass off. It's so funny. It's so good. They're great.
You picked the perfect partner.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I always look at the first time I met his mom too. I went, "You are so fucking crazy. Thank you. You trained him so well for me. He knows how to handle me. It's so good." Well, I want to ask about interventions. We'll do it.
Oh yeah,
generally.
you did do that. Yeah.
So okay,
interventions.
In high school, okay,
go ahead. In high school,
I was gonna say in high school, I like had to call a friend's mom and tell her she was on heroin because she was like stealing from her, and she was like, she just kept like shooting up in front of me, and I was like, oh my god, and she was like would miss the vein and blood would be. It was just really like she was gonna die, and I definitely like lost that friendship, which was I was okay with. It was a risk that I was willing to take, and then she came back. And she was like, I'm clean now, thank you. And then she started snorting it in front of me in the bathroom. And I was like, oh God. And I didn't call her mom again. I just was like, I can't hang out with you.
Yeah.
But so that's my only real experience.
That was a good boundary. That was good.
I have some. I have a little, but I'm learning to be stronger. But when you do, like it's just for me, it's like if I were to do it with like a very close friend now, I do want to preserve my friendship with them, but I also don't want to put my friendship over their life and safety.
So people get very confused about what we're even talking about when we say an intervention. Right. I can't tell you how frequently people say to me, we did an intervention, and I find out what they did is they kind of went in and said, you got to stop doing drugs.
Yeah.
It's like, that is not an intervention.
Yeah.
It's not an intervention when you alert the person to you're aware of what's going on. It's not an intervention when you gather a bunch of people and sort of confront them about what they're doing. It's not an intervention when you throw them in the car.
Yeah.
An intervention is a formal operation done by an interventionist, oftentimes written out and scripted and rehearsed. And everyone, and ideally the most important people in that person's life should be there so they have the leverage over them. With men, the employer is a very important piece of that game. And everybody there.
With women, it's the shoe salesman. Because they love shoes so much.
That's what I'm saying. And everyone there has to be prepared that this person, by the end of this intervention, is going to take that bag and get in the car and go to treatment. And if they don't, everyone in the room has to understand that they're not going to be in that person's life any longer.
So hard.
Right. And everyone has to there has to be an absolute unity that everyone has to like lock arms in terms of what they're feeling and saying and thinking and what they do. And then the interventionist has to lead the whole thing. That's an intervention. That is a very high probability of getting somebody into and through treatment. What happens beyond that is, very unpredictable. But it is okay to sit somebody down who you're close to and go, hey, we got to do something here. Can I help you? That's fine. But that doesn't have the same impact and probability of success. And by the same token, you can sit down as a family and talk to somebody, but you may also now have lost your opportunity to do the intervention, which is an ambush.
Right.
They're designed as ambushes.
Yeah.
And they have to be that way because the person has to be caught off guard, given the bag, go.
Right.
That's it. But if you're going to try it yourself, the thing I'm always telling people is if you really want to be engaged in this person as they're going through this process, you have to do something because this disease is too powerful. It sucks everything in, everybody. It's an interpersonal disease. And you have to go to Al-Anon or get a therapist or something where somebody's in your corner. I liken it to me, the perfect model of addiction is the Audrey 2 plant and the Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, that's our favorite slot machine.
Okay. So,
I'm going wild.
Yeah. So the plant eats everybody that goes near it. So if you go in the room with the plant by yourself, it finds a way to eat you. It's manipulative. It sucks you in. All this. That's addiction. So you have to have somebody, what I call Ariadne's cord. Ariadne pulled somebody out from the Minotaur maze. And you got to have somebody there with you, staying steadfast with you, and then pulling you back out as you go in, and then discussing and reflecting what just happened so you don't do it again. And that's necessary, or you're going to be part of the problem.
Right.
Because people don't understand how the disease of addiction takes advantage of everything.
Yeah.
Everything positive, everything is that's in that person's life gets sucked into and used by the disease of addiction.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
All right,
So
well,
good
that's
times.
cool.
So
Not
bring
that
it
I
down.
have to do that, but I was just curious.
This is supposed to be a funny show,
well,
right?
my shoe joke was pretty fucking good.
You broke it up a little bit.
Well, thanks for coming.
My pleasure. So good
You're
to see
the
you.
best. I can't wait to see you again. And we are going to come to Austin soon.
Oh, good.
We're going to come to Austin. We want to do, obviously, Duncan and see if we can get Joey. And
me.
And you, obviously, yes.
Yeah, so
Of
Todd, nice
course.
to meet you. And I'm glad.
And your mom's house crew.
Yes, this is
everyone.
After Dark, this other show I do, which is sort of a new incarnation of Loveline. It's amazing to
Yeah.
me how people have the same old questions. In spite of access to all the information,
Yeah.
they're still as confused
But
as
they
ever.
like you. They just want you to say it to them.
Maybe, or they want to
You're a
confirm
zaddy.
it.
You're a
zaddy?
Dr. Zaddy.
What's that mean?
It's like what's zaddy? Look up the definition of zaddy.
That's a term?
It's like a Jersey way of saying daddy.
No, look up zaddy. It means something.
I need to know.
I love your wife.
A
Good.
sexually attractive man, especially an older one who is fashionable and charismatic.
You're a Dr. Zaddy. And I
That's the
still
best
love your
compliment
wife.
I've ever had. Thank you for reading that, Todd.
Wait.
Except the fashionable part. That's like,
Someone told me you're great. You're perfect. Someone told me I'm ribald recently, and I was like, never knew what that word meant, and I was like,
ribaldry, like a little jocular.
I was like,
Those
it's
crazy
kinda good.
words.
Look at
Ribald. It's like outwardly jovial.
yeah, but I think it makes fun of sexual nature.
Yeah,
or something.
it can go that way.
Referring to sexual matters in an amusingly coarse or irreverent way.
Yeah, coarse and irreverent is what I think
Ribald,
of.
baby. BALLED.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
All right. Well, thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching. We fucking love you. I'm so excited about this show. Thanks for being here. Tell your friends. Comment, subscribe, give it some stars or whatever. Thumbs up. Comment below your wins. We do that. We have people comment their wins of the week.
Oh, that's
So then
cool.
we just have a positive.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that fucking cool? It's
Maybe
awesome.
I need more of that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Just ask for the positivity.
Everything else on social media is so fucking.
We just like to brag. We want braggers. We have our Ripped and Rich challenge where it's like, let's all just get.
With the cow ripped
These were from Inspiration. That was my background from my old podcast. And people were like, where are the Cowboys? I'm like, they're coming back.
Oh my God, how funny.
And then I always tell people this is the most AnnieWood part of the show. We show our dents.
I love
We
it.
show
I love it.
our burst seams.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, we want everyone to just get better and have the best life. So
Cool. Love
see
it.
you guys later. Watch all of his shows. He's the man.
This is AnnieWood, we ain't gotta pretend, cause this is all real spiel from beginning to end. This is AnnieWood, we ain't gotta pretend, cause this is all real spiel from beginning to end. Raised as a twin, I'm a slug with bananas, got bows and rolls, yeah, I pose for the cameras. Rolling on my scooter and you know I'm looking fresh. Eating my banana, drinking liquid death. This is AnnieWood, we manifested a check. Just opened up a door and Esther was on my steps. This is AnnieWood, we manifested a check. Just opened up a door and Esther was on my steps.